good morning. It is the 21st of March 2014. My name is Banu Vikramasinghe. Just as usual on Good Morning Sri Lanka, well, giving you a dose of entertainment and education. Summing up to give you edutainment. Now, before anything further, I would like to introduce my first guest for today's show. Well, she is a person we do not, really need to give a further description because she has been on the show as a prominent character, Arundhati. Good morning.
Good morning, Banu.
How are you doing this morning?
Very good.
I know for a fact that you're a morning person.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. What makes you a morning person? Because a lot of the time right now, you don't find a lot of morning people.
Coffee?
Coffee. So you prefer coffee to tea, is it?
Of course.
Why?
Why are we having this conversation?
I don't know, I just feel like it's a good starter, yeah? Because I think we are getting to it. I'm just teasing you guys on what's to come. Alright.
Coffee.
Coffee. Alright, let's get into it, Arundhati. We are going to talk about how pushy parents could be, and the disadvantages and the cons of it, and maybe exactly why they're doing it in the first place. So, Arundhati, it's a vast topic and it's a loaded question if I ask what is it exactly. So I'm going to ask you in separate questions. But firstly, starting very simply, who is a pushy parent in your vocabulary?
Well, I would start off and say that parenting, about a parent, right? It's a very individualistic thinking, right? Say, well, your parenting method might not be my parenting method, but this whole sense of pushy in front is where you drive your child or children to an extent that they become anxious or stressed out in trying to achieve the goals you set for them. So that is what you mean by pushy.
And why is it happening right now if it's so dangerous and if it has so many disadvantages and the cons more?
Well, I feel that, as I said, it's the method you choose as a parent, and some parents feel that if the child is not the best or the most successful or the top of the class every time, that they are not going to succeed outside in the world. But it is not so. I mean, why cannot parents accept the child for their abilities and not put them down when they don't perform as an inability? So this is where what happens is, I feel in my ways that the parents have so much of high expectation of the child that if they fail, it is a more reflection of themselves than the child.
Because I think if I could dig a little bit deeper into it, is culture play a major role as well? Because in other countries, the environment, of course, it's very, the family is to itself. You don't have a lot of relatives asking what's your O-level results, what's your A-level results from the kids.
True.
And of course the parents are kind of psychologically kind of moved away from that. So does that play a major role as well, Arundhati?
Culture does play a major role, because right now, for the question you asked me, is this whole war against Western parenting and Asian parenting, and I personally think that Asian parents are rather more rigid or strict than the Western parents, but there is a kernel of truth there where I feel I would personally pick up the Asian way of parenting to an extent where the child needs to be pressurized. But the question here is how much pressure you're putting. It's a big question mark.
Yeah, so that extent is a question mark, as you said, but how do we exactly figure it out? Because I know it's quite understandable that it depends from person to person, from child to child, from adolescent to adolescent. But how can we kind of guarantee that it works for overall the majority? You know, by saying it should be 18 plus, if we give a solid mark or an age limit, do you think it's possible?
No, it's again, you should know your child the best, right? And I always say that a child is a unique personality, right? Each child is unique, right? The expectation level or the ambition levels you have for him or her has no play with their individuality, right? So as a parent, is the most key to your success is ask yourself the questions like where is my child, what are his capabilities or her capabilities, and push it from there. I don't think there's exactly a age cutoff in our culture, because you see when you're quite in your late 20s or 30s still living with your parents, but we don't feel shy. But in the other cultures, like, it is like, what are you doing in your parents' house? So
18 plus you're gone.
You're gone.
And then you have to pay your electricity bills and everything as well.
But I think codependence is a good thing.
It's very arguable though, yeah?
Yeah. I personally think, since we are Asians and it's our culture, that I will personally not feel ashamed living with my mother if I can afford to pay my bills. But it's a very questionable thing. So, no, I don't agree on a cut-off mark. No. It's about the child, whether the child is ready to go out there.
So since the theme of the show today is how pushy a parent can be, it always revolves around the theory that parents sometimes tend to force children into getting into industries that they are not comfortable in, but just to win over their agendas, their own personal agendas, and that the kids actually have absolutely no interest in this. What's your take on that?
I think is trying to get into that. It's okay. Maybe I should rephrase this. I think it's very easy for a parent to get carried away with this subject, because they all want the best for their kids, right? So it's very easily you get caught up with this rat race of what is good and what is bad for your child, right? And then you think, okay, maybe my child can be pushed, or with the proper guidance can be put into this path, without thinking that the child has an individual growth. There is a development process which he will have to take on to succeed in life. So this is where the entire competition thing gets in, and without your knowledge, you're putting so much of pressure on your child.
It's a long-term effect, isn't it? And it long-term would affect the child completely when they actually have their own children. It's kind of multiple effect, yeah?
It's again, as I said, some are very good in handling pressure. Some kids are very good. If the mother or the father is very strict and saying do this, do that, they might be able to, okay, they are doing this because they really care about me, and it's okay. But there are other kids who cannot take up the pressure and they break, right? So that's why I said the number one rule is you need to know who your child is without trying to go on that drive of the right pathway to success.
And I think the important issue that we have right now is not knowing who your child is, as you said. But Arundhati, just to highlight and further dig into it, how do you exactly know who your son or daughter is? Because most of the time, not only in this country but anywhere when you take onto this matter, children are mostly very how to put it, very independent. They don't really say anything to their parents or relatives for that matter. They always try to be very in a corner sort of thing, or maybe share secrets with the people of the same age category, their friends. So how would you exactly give an advice to the parents out there in getting to know, the first step in getting to know who exactly their son or daughter is?
What I was thinking is that what I mentioned is not really getting to know them in every aspect. It's difficult.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. But you see, when I'm talking about this competition and drive, is I'm looking at this concept of education, or where your child, how you plan your child's future, right? So in that concept, it is very easy if you have this communication with your child and ask before you suggest things, whether they can actually cope up with that kind of stress you put on them, or they want something else. Say, for example, right? Say, I want my daughter to play piano, right? But that necessarily doesn't mean she has to play the piano. What if she tells me, no, I don't like piano, I want to play guitar? So, if it was me, I would have like, okay, I'll be disappointed, of course, because I want her to play the piano, not a guitar. But if she's good in playing the guitar, what is the purpose of me pushing her to play the piano? So this is where that fine line of being pushy gets in. So if I was really pushy parent, I will say, why am I wasting money spending on your guitar lessons? Nobody will want to listen to you. I want you to play the piano like a real lady.
So in other words, are the parents being selfish here?
They are not being selfish.
It's a very dangerous word.
They are not being selfish. They are so driven by this fact of setting such high standards for their children. They think that if they do one thing wrong, something drastic is going to happen.
So the expectations are actually much more than the realistic end result. So that is, I think,
expectations and ambitions take over them, where they are driven and they do things that way they unintentionally that they hurt their children. So this is where you need to stop self-question yourself when you are a parent. Am I doing the right thing for my child?
well, that's food for thought, actually, Arundhati.
Yes.
Just because your child is doing something bad, if I could place like that, and if the child is going towards a wrong path, taking a wrong path, for example, should you be pushy, or how would you like to tackle it? Because it's so common right now that a lot of kids are taking a path which should not be used to be taken in the long run. How would you say this?
Of course, you need to be very strict on your children if they are doing wrong, if they are misbehaving, right? If they are doing something which is completely unacceptable by the you or anyone else, of course you need to put it down, and you know this is the time you really pull the leash and say, okay, hold down. But what I'm talking about in this subject matter is overall concept of how you are managing your relationship with the child. Right? Every parent needs to put pressure on a child. If not, the child is not going to do anything. Right? They will just do whatever they like, and then it's like, you know, where do you come in? I mean, you're a parent, right? You need to give guidance. For the question you asked, I will say, if you are bringing up your child, if you are having communication, if you are showing them love, affection, and if you have some form of firm environment in your house, it is very rare your child will go astray to that extent. Because the first thing you are doing is you need to bring up a child who is realistic and who has values, right?
And I think the first few years in a kid's life is more about knowing what human values are, apart from, you know, learning what science or maths are. And I think we should follow it. I'm just giving a personal opinion, just to concentrate on the good qualities: compassion, love. I think we pretty much could nail kids' personality at the very early stage of life.
It's you. First thing you do is teach them the hard-earned values. It's not about teaching a child to be something. Now it's always you need to be this, you need to have this. But in our stage, our parents never told us that. They always said, be the best you can. Right? But it's not happening now. It's like you are so goal-driven, and success is all about what you need to have materialistically, but not value-wise.
And I think right now it's all about the masters, the degrees, and all the products that are in line, the trophies, the medals, and not really for the qualities, as you said before. And this culture should change. Is it changing right now, or is it an emerging theme maybe in another 20 years' time? Because right now I see that happening. That right way of learning is right now being implemented, especially in schools. So do you see a good future perhaps?
Unfortunately, no. I think it is getting worse.
Is it?
I think this whole perfect groomed child, the high standard child is the most common Olympic sports now. It is like my child is better than your child, and everyone is pushing, even the schools, and it has come to a point with my experience that the teachers get so stressed out because the parents put so much of pressure on them, saying, what are you doing? I need more results from my child. So unfortunately, I think it's just climbing up. There is no going down.
The parents, Arundhati, can always counter argue, saying there's so much of competition in the corporate world.